Alright.
Okay. You wake up in an unfamiliar bed in an unfamiliar house. The smell of chorizo and eggs fill the air of your unfamiliar room. Sunlight grazes the edge of your bed, warming your feet. I quickly turn to my side and check to see if I forgot I was on vacation with my spouse. I don't see their comforting body and begin to worry. Don't panic, I tell myself unconvincingly. My heart starts to pound, and as I feel through, I'm choking with fear. I close my eyes tightly, breathe deeply, and say the phrase I always say, the phrase that never fails to calm me down when my soul is trying to escape my body with a piece of broken glass. My name is Patricia Medina. I am 32 years old. My husband's name is... Honey, are you okay? Asks a surprising familiar voice. Quick in noticing his wife's troubled position, Robert placed the plate of eggs gently on a nearby end table, climbed into bed, caressing Patricia as she rocked slightly in a curled fetal position. He rubbed her calmly on her back, then moved to hold her from behind in a loving hug. This might be hard to believe, but we're not in Davenport anymore. As I feel his firm, warm, reassuring arms, my blood pressure quickly begins to stabilize. I remember those familiar, gentle hands that always seem to know every curve of my body. I hear him say something, but it doesn't matter. Whatever it is, it can wait. I keep my eyes closed because I fear he may disappear again if I open them. As I return the hug and take in his scent, I practice my mindful breathing. I slowly slip into his arms in warm, infinite abyss. Still allowing him to hold me, I raise my face to his and lose myself in his lips. His warm, moist kiss is everything to me, and I quickly thank the universe for this moment.
I forgot this was mainly kind of like a love story at the beginning.
Robert let the moment overtake him as he continued to kiss his wife. As excited as he was to show her the new world they were now in, he couldn't help but give into their usual morning cuddle routine. It really didn't feel like a simulation at all, at least not within their simulated house. The thoughts, the emotions, the sensations, nothing gave him the clue that they were someplace other than home. Only his memories gave him the wisdom to know that they were in a fabricated reality. And with that thought, his excitement got the best of him again, sending goosebumps through his body. This was a childhood dream come true. A sigh of excitement from Robert brought my attention back to reality. There was something in his kiss I couldn't quite put my finger on. Robert gave me a tighter hug, which usually meant he wanted to tell me something important, but didn't want to be rude and end the kiss. As a good wife, I take his cue and begin to make the difficult transition from utter bliss to reality. I return the tight hug and detach from his body to pay attention to whatever it is he was trying to say. I scramble in my mind to remember the last thing he said. Sorry, honey, you were saying something about it's hard to believe, but something something?
Oh, by the way, Machine of Death said lots of emotion, vivid imagery.
Oh. I give him the cute kitten smile that says, how could you possibly be mad at me for not paying attention? I love you. I said, it's hard to believe, but we aren't in Davenport anymore.
Oh, hey, Sir Cupcake Man. My wife is reading a fan fiction that we wrote together out loud.
In 2017.
Yeah.
Robert repeated, enjoying Patricia's cute smirk.
Sir Cupcake Man says, hi, Kaisona wife. I forgot to make that command, though.
Let's see. I said it's hard to believe, but we aren't in Davenport anymore, Robert repeated, enjoying Patricia's cute smirk. You might have amnesia about the transfer as I did, but this is actually a simulation we're in right now. He could only hope that his wife would be okay about this. I can't wait to show you what it looks like outside. If you can't remember what kind of simulation I chose, you're going to call me the biggest nerd. As he talked, He rolled off the bed excitedly, making his way back to the breakfast he had made for Patricia. The plate was still warm and had a delightful aroma. The food doesn't taste different either. Really trippy stuff. I try not to think about it. He continued as he brought the plate over to his wife. For you. Thank you. But when did I say I was okay with this? I mean, I know I love you and I trust you, but it just seems odd that this even exists. Is this like Total Recall with the Governator? As I'm speaking, I see Robert's smile begin to fade with all the questions I ask. My emotions are taking over, so I begin to actually trust him, the man that I love. We must have talked about this for many nights. I must have posed all these questions weeks or even months ago. We must have had endless pros and cons, but somehow we chose this together. We must have. I take a deep breath and say, sorry, honey. I'm being an ass. My emotions are just really high right now. Let's just enjoy this. I tried to hide my confusion and replace the word fake with, delicious food. You can show me instead of explaining to me. Sound good? Robert's smile turned. Alright, I'll go get something from the living room while you eat. For a moment, he closed his eyes and took a deep, excited breath before exiting the room. Only a few minutes passed when he turned, holding two immediately recognizable red and white orbs in his hands. It looks like these are ours. There was a note saying that they are already Pokemon inside, and they match whatever we set our preferences. I honestly have no idea what I picked though. His smile grew more as he eyed the ball in his left hand, which had a large R sticker on it. The ball was heavier than he had imagined, something the size of a baseball, but weighing slightly more. There was also a warmth to it, something to come from within. His finger slid over the details of the sphere. Somebody pinch me, this is too awesome. Alright, let's go do this. This is once in a lifetime. Pete quickly gets dressed and focuses her energy to mentally prepare for whatever may come. She grabs whatever t-shirt from the nearby closet and then chooses one of the many tracksuits available to her. A white and teal combination with matching baseball cap catches her eye. She automatically performs her morning routine in the bathroom. Just like home, she thinks. Now minty fresh and deodorant ready, she puts on a pair of knee-high white motorcycle boots. To her surprise, the boots are light as air and super stylish. Before she pulls her ponytail through the hole on the back of her cap, P notices something across the room. An old television with what looks like an old VCR. A yellow post-it reads, "Playing." As for Robert, he preferred a simple attire, having already dressed up in a dark blue t-shirt with black shorts. There also happened to be some curiously comfy sandals in their closet, which he had fit snugly over his long white socks.
Hold on one second. Alright, thanks to Cupcake Man for the lurk. And have a good sleep, and thanks you for dropping by. Yeah, you can go.
As for his brown hair, it remained unkept. As Patricia walked over to the VCR to press play, Robert took a seat on the bed as the old television hummed to life. A familiar face showed up on the screen, which Robert recognized as their simulation overseer. Hello, Robert and Patricia. Welcome to Friendly Face. This is Michael Williamson from Fantasy Interactive. Just to help some of the amnesia you both are probably experiencing, let me state that you are both in a Pokemon-themed simulation and are being carefully monitored by our team to ensure a thrilling but safe adventure. This may seem like a recorded VHS tape, but I'm actually here to answer all your questions you may have before you start, Michael said, waiting for a couple of seconds. So you're telling me you can hear me right now? And don't just say yes, say a complete sentence so I can believe you. P, ever suspicious of things too good to be true, couldn't help herself and test the situation. This was probably due to the fact that she watched too many movies as a young kid. She was torn between asking too many questions and too little. So she came up with the best solution. She would only ask the most important questions and leave the rest to who knows. I don't want to ruin this experience by knowing too much, so I'll keep it short. 1. Can we die or get hurt in this world, which could affect our real bodies back home? 2. Can I learn things along the way? For example, kung fu or how to build a fire or shelter? 3. How long do we have before we leave? 4. If I have questions, can I ask them later? Your real bodies are not affected in the slightest. In fact, the consciousness that you're experiencing in this copy of your natural mind embedded in the simulation can be stopped at any time. Inside or outside of it, from inside, simply request my name out loud and you may make the request at that time. That is also how you can ask more questions down the line. Michael took some time to catch his breath, then continued. Technically, it is possible to both get hurt and die, though I must stress that the Pokemon world is designed to be very safe. In the event of a fatal situation or any event of extreme pain or stress, the simulation will end automatically for both of you. His look was serious in tone, but soon changed to a friendlier smile. You'll find that once your amnesia passes, you will know enough to get by comfortably in this world. I'm sure Robert can help with the Pokemon information. Alright, now I can open my Pokeball and meet my new best friend. Other than Robert, of course. P looked towards Robert with excitement. She hoped her new Pokemon would be cute and cuddly. She was eager to see what she could do and what her quest would be. P was ready to be in this world now. She couldn't wait to smell all the scents and see all the beauty. She held Robert's hand tightly and noticed his hands were hot and sweaty. This immediately reminded her of the first time holding hands and how firm and warm his hand was. How nervous with excitement they both were. He also remembered how desperately her body yelled for his touch. During their first official date, she finally had physical confirmation he wanted to be more than just friends by the touch of his hand. She loved this man. As soon as Robert let go of her hand, she was pulled back to the present moment. She had an epiphany and immediately whispered into Robert's ear, "Do we have a Professor Oak type person? Because I would love to have a Professor Sakura." "Ask, please, ask. I'm too shy to make the request." "No need to be shy, Miss Medina," Michael interjected before Robert even turned to speak. "And it appears your amnesia has already started to clear. Professor Sakura is looking forward to meeting you. You can find her 2 blocks down in your town's laboratory. Remember to call out my name if you have any questions." Michael finished. The TV set turned off automatically, leaving an awkward silence in the air. "Here, you go first," Robert offered, holding out the Pokeball with a large P sticker on it. "Not sure what you should call out if you don't know its name, but I'm sure it'll be listening." He was eager to try his out too, of course, but he always loved letting people enjoy things before he did, since he loved to see the look of surprise and awe that he might not show as strongly. Plus, it almost felt like he was host of this world, showing off to his love for the first time. "Can't wait to see what you got," he said with a cheeky grin. As he handed Patricia the Pokeball, he bent down slightly and raised her cap to kiss her slightly on the forehead. "Don't forget to pose." "Okay." P went back to her breakfast, wrapped it up in a double napkin, and put it in a nice small compact backpack she found in the closet. She traces the brim of her cap and looks at Robert with confidence. They held hands and made their way outside. Thankfully, the backpack had some essentials like sunblock and shades, even a tiny umbrella with a tag that read, "Not actual size," and larges when open. P was thrilled. "Okay, so don't laugh. I'll come up with a better pose later." P struck a Saturday Night Live fever stance while simultaneously throwing her ball. "Oh, cuddle buddy!" As soon as the ball hit the ground, it sprung open to let a bright ball of white energy, right in front of it. While the recoil sent the ball back towards Patricia, the white energy soon formed into a small baby bird Pokemon, no more than 6 inches tall. As if it had gotten out of the water, it rustled its brown and white feathers while stretching out its tiny brown wings. Wanting to face her new trainer, the little bird hopped a few times to face Patricia, closed her eyes, and cooed happily. "Pidgey!" It only took a few more seconds to hop to her to reach Patricia's feet, which she stroked Patricia's ankles lovingly with her beak. P had the biggest anime eyes that glimmered with tears. She had she put out her palms low to the ground and waited to pick up the little bird. He hopped over to her hands so gently the little bird looked puffy and a little overweight, but as soon as she picked him up, he was lighter than air and softer than a cloud. He brought him up to her face and gently pressed him against her cheek. He did not realize how much time had passed because she had closed her eyes, enjoying this moment to bond with their very first Pokemon. Robert carefully rubbed her back, not to startle her, but also to make his presence known. This was such a beautiful moment for Robert. As he moved to rub Patricia's shoulders next, he remembered that he was part of this adventure too. Making sure to ease off gradually from the massage, he reached for his own Pokeball with his right hand, raised it up towards the sun, and slightly flicked it towards the same spot where Pidgey was released. This time, however, instead of a little brown bird appearing from the white light, an orange and white colored fish with fabric-like fins flopped out, looking quite out of its element, but not in panic. Noticing this, Robert simply greeted his new friend with a smile. Hey, Goldine! I'm Robert, and this is my wife, Patricia. That's it.
Nice.